It is often said that nothing reaches the celebrity status that Indian cricketers and Bollywood actors possess. But there are some unsung heroes, especially on the cricket field, who are as good as their counterparts but weren't lucky enough to don the Indian blues. Today, sports stars Vijay Lokapally speaks to one such cricketer.
Welcome, viewers, to this podcast series on domestic stalwarts. And today we have Amol Muzumdar, who grows younger by the day. And I keep teasing him, are you trying to qualify for the under 19 squad of Bombay? So now he's graduated to be the Bombay coach, or Mumbai coach rather. It's Mumbai now, and he began when it was Bombay, I think. So Amol, how has it been? I mean, your period with Mumbai as a coach after having played 19 years of domestic cricket.
First of all, thank you very much for that introduction, Vijay. That's one of a kind. Every time I meet you, you greet me in a different fashion. So here it is. I mean, this is the first timer for me that I would be qualifying for Mumbai under 19s. It's been a lovable ride for the last 16 months. Of course, the 19 years or 17 years that I played for Mumbai, and then 4 years outside Mumbai. Those years have been also enjoyable. But being a coach and a full-time coach for Mumbai Ranji Trophy team, it has been a wonderful experience for me. It's been a lovable ride so far. Plenty of learnings, how the modern day generation thinks. Amazing bunch of guys that I've been involved with.
Yeah, and Amol, if I take you back to that lovely day at Faridabad when I first met you, and a double hundred on first class debut, along with Ravi Shastri, Jatin Paranjape, and I think Samit Dige was there, if I remember right. So that day, the second day of the game, when you establish yourself as one of the finest upcoming young cricketer of the country.
Well, it's etched in my memory for my entire life. It can't. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better start for your first class career. I was waiting for it for a long time. I would say, although I was just 18 or 19 years old, but I would say I was waiting for a long time, because at that time every match was. It took a little bit of a time for me to debut for Mumbai Ranji Trophy team. I was getting runs by tons in junior cricket, and then it so happened that there was a little bit of a build-up for that debut match. Basically, for India, I think Sachin Tendulkar, Sanjay, Manjrekar, Salil Ankola, and Vinod, Kamli. They had all gone out to play for the country, and they were in New Zealand, and that's the reason I got my chance to make my debut. Luckily, I had Ravi as my captain, and I still regard him as the best captain that I've played under. He was just a great motivator. He sent me a message. I was practicing at Shivaji Park 5 or 6 days prior to the debut. He sent me a message via someone. I mean, it was a pre-mobile time. So the message reached me at Shivaji Park, and he said that you are my number 4 batter, be ready for it. So the message was very clear that I would be batting at number 4 for Mumbai in the next 7 days. And then I had a chance to prepare myself, to plan my stuff. And there it was. I think it was 12th of February 1994 I made my debut.
And Amol, there's just so much people talk about the Shivaji Park tradition of grooming a cricketer, and Acharkar sir, I mean, he was not much into technique, but he was more like a mentor or father figure. So your impressions of Shivaji Park, we would like to know from you. Praveen Ambre was there. I mean, Sachin has played there. Kamli, so many of them.
Shivaji Park was and is like a mandir for us, basically. It's not a ground, it's not a playground. It's a temple that I regard it as. Purely because the talent that was there, the amount of hard work that was put in, not just by the players but also by the coaches. Some amazing coaches around as well. Ankush Vaidya, Anna, who was fondly called Anna Vaidya, was just on the next pitch. Manjrekar sir was operating. There was Shivaji Park Gymkhana, such a big name in Mumbai's local cricket. So it was like a mandir for us, and good old memories, Vijay. Fantastic talent around me, and that is probably the reason why we had to do something special to survive in that pool of talent.
So Amol, I'll connect this answer with today's cricket. You talked of so many big names at Shivaji Park or maybe in the Mumbai dressing room, and then now today when we see, today's players don't get to interact with many big names in domestic. Once they come into the Indian team, fine, but in domestic their learning process is very different today. Your views?
It was all about my seniors when I started playing cricket. It was all about them. Just watch and learn. That was the best technique that you could ever have. Much better, your eyes. I've always believed this, that whatever you watch with your naked eyes is much better than what you watch on a computer screen or a television. So my learnings came entirely from the senior players that I used to interact with and play with. Somebody like Dilip Vengsarkar. In fact, today only, while having breakfast with Ajinkya Rane, I just casually mentioned that I remember a Police Shield game which was played at Hindu Gymkhana, where Dilip Vengsarkar was playing, and it was after 100 test matches. Vengsarkar sir was there playing, and Sanjay Manjrekar had just come back from a extraordinary Pakistan tour of 1989, but he came and played Police Shield game. It was a wonderful experience for a 15-year-old boy like me. I was included in the Mumbai it was Bombay then, BCA Colts, Bombay Cricket Association Colts team, and Sanjay Manjrekar was leading that team. I had a first-hand experience how the test players prepare themselves. So it was just watch and learn technique, Vijay. And it benefited me. I think you could analyze or you could use your own brains much better than what you see on screens, and nowadays it is all about mobile phones. In fact, we are also meeting on the mobile phone, on a Zoom call. So it's changed, but I still appreciate what these youngsters are. I would like to inculcate certain things, not force them, but would like to inculcate those things in them.
And Amol, do you think cricketers, when they evolve, how was it different in your time and today? Do they evolve quickly today because so much of scientific training, so much of technical input, NCA, they're thinking of cricket all the time, which was different from your time?
Completely different. There were very, very few cricketers who would graduate to the next level. There were so many cricketers who were left in the lurch. They were completely. Then they had to fall back on their jobs and unfortunate things. There was a lot of talent that went aside, and it was that kind of a time. But now it's completely different. A small bit of talent is also tapped. It's groomed. And then it is set off in Indian cricket for the world to watch it, especially the IPL, the T20 cricket. A lot of eyes are on them, and cricketers are groomed well nowadays with such technology that is available to them. So I feel they are a blessed lot. Certain things we were blessed, because you can't compare those things with today's generation. So Excuse me.
Hmm.
So I mean, it's a different era that we live in, Vijay. So we just have to cater to the surroundings nowadays.
So when you talked of IPL, you've been a cricket IPL coach. You've also been a scout. I mean, you go around looking for some talented youngsters. So what do you look in them? What do you look? I mean, being a 4-day coach and then you go around looking for a white ball player.
Basically, I look at somebody with match temperament. Even if the inning is short and sweet, it doesn't matter. But if that boy has got something in him where he can take the match on his own shoulders, that is a plus point for me. The second is also his personality, where and whether he can grow into an international player. That is what I look into when I'm searching for talent. Just a little quick snippet for you. 2016-17, I was with the National Cricket Academy, and I happened to see a batter who was playing beautifully. I was a batting coach there for under-19s, where Prithvi Shaw, everyone was there. I saw a batter who was unbelievable. I mean, within a space of half an hour, I was so how do I put it? I was impressed with it, and haven't heard his name at all. But I quickly went and asked him his name, and I asked him, who taught you? He said, मेरे पापा ने सिखाया. बड़े अच्छा सिखाया आपने आपको. उन्होंने किसी की मत सुनना, आपके पापा की सुनना, बिकॉज उन्होंने बहुत अच्छी तरीके से सिखाया आपको. His name was Shubman Gill. Went up to W.V. Raman, who was the head coach over there, and I said, in the next 6 months you'll see him playing in the big ticket cricket. I went to Rohan Gavaskar. I met Rohan Gavaskar in a couple of days' time, and I said, Rohan, you know what? I've seen a superstar at NCA. I said, he said, come on, Amol. He's just 17. I said, no, I've seen a superstar. Just the talent that I saw and the personality that he carried, you just knew that his cut made for international cricket.
So what was it? Did he have more time to play, or was his footwork was very nimble, or he was able to meet every ball in the middle of the bat?
Just the whole package, Vijay. Just the whole package. The again, as I said, there was a presence at the crease. There was something about him at the crease. The way his downswing was there, bat swing came down, and everything about it. Just the overall package about Gill that impressed.
Correct. And Amol, any anecdotes? There'll be plenty involving you and Sachin, because you're a dear friend of Sachin. So I would like to know from you, and also your any traveling anecdote, because these days they just fly. So traveling by road, by train. So there must be very funny incidents. So if you can share some with our young viewers, because they only get to see cricket on television these days. Hardly go to the ground.
There were plenty. I mean, in fact, I can write a book on it. There are so many, but I'll just quickly one incident. Chalo, I'll just take it up. We were playing Saurashtra in 1995. I think it was Sanjay Manjrekar who was leading, and Vinod was playing. Kamli was a superstar then. It still is, but yeah. I mean, we were playing Saurashtra at Bhavnagar, and there was no flight from Bhavnagar back to Mumbai. So the only option we had was take a bus ride to the nearest airport, that was Rajkot. So it was an overnight journey from Bhavnagar to Rajkot by bus. and we all did it with a smile. Sanjay Manjrekar was there. We were singing songs, and Mohammed Rafi songs was sung by Vinod. And as luck would have it, we had a breakdown. Tire puncture was a typical breakdown in those days. Bus had to stop, and fortunately for us, we had stopped for our dinner, and over there was a breakdown. So we had lovely 3 hours over there. The entire village, I don't know which goddamn place we were in, but it was between Bhavnagar and Rajkot, and the entire village came to the dhaba. They just wanted to watch Sanjay Manjrekar and Vinod, Kamli, the entire Mumbai team. So it was great fun. Vinod was singing some Mohammed Rafi songs for the villagers also.
Yeah.
It was just great time. Nobody had a hassle. Nobody had a issue about anything probably. So fantastic memories. Yeah, we carry. It was just a small thing it was, but it was great. The memories are etched in my mind. And Sachin also coming and playing for Mumbai. I do not remember a single game where he missed playing for Mumbai. Okay. He did not miss a single game. Although he was a superstar, he was a mega star. He still is. But he was a mega star, and he never missed a game for Mumbai. It was just brilliant when he came to play for Mumbai. It was with same intensity. The dressing room was lively. The dressing room was full of characters in the Mumbai dressing room. Somebody like Samir Dighe, Sairaj Bahutule, Salil Angola, Paras Mamre, Jatin Paranspe was there, and not to forget Vinod Kamli. There was Sulakshan Kulkarni also at times.
Yeah.
So it was full of characters, and you need characters in a team sport. And there was Sachin Tendulkar himself in the dressing room, enjoying the biryani, enjoying the local food that was served. Amazing time.
Did he at any point cook for you?
Cook? Must have, but probably at home. At his house, he must. I remember sometimes going to his Bandra residence in his Sahitya Service building, because I used to live very close by Santa Cruz. I used to live at Santa Cruz, and he was living in Bandra. Atul was a dear friend, Atul Ranade. So we used to go and play in his colony for a while. In the off season, rubber ball cricket. So many times we've played inside this Avas. And at that time, I think he was very passionate about cooking.
He still is. He's passionate about making simple cup of tea with a tea bag. He won't let you touch the cup. He'll make it, serve you, and then he wants to know how was it.
Vijay, that guy is passionate about everything that you name it, and he's passionate about it. If he's doing it, he'll do it with full passion.
Perfection also, Amol. With perfection.
Yeah.
Oh, but tell me, if you have to tell today's young cricketers one thing which there will be so many things, one thing they can pick up learn from Sachin's career.
From Sachin's career?
Yeah. Because it's very difficult to be a Sachin.
Integrity and loyalty comes first. That's it. Make it keep that line in your mind. Your integrity. Of course, talent is there. Talent is a given. At a level that you're playing, talent is given. You need to have that talent, or you need to develop that skill level to come to a certain level in cricket. But once you reach there, integrity and loyalty is the main thing what you can inculcate in your values.
Correct. And Amol, you faced some of the best bowlers India have produced, at different points. Kapil Dev or Srinath or Venkatesh Prasad. Kumble, Harbhajan Singh. So when you look at them, and today when you look at this generation, what is it they lack, or if they lack? I'm not saying they lack. What is it you would like them to imbibe from these stalwarts?
I think we do have some superb spinners going around even now. Jadeja, Ravichandran Ashwin, Kuldeep Yadav is somebody I like because he's different. But beyond that, I would like to have a bunch of bowlers, and I've always stressed this with BCCI, with NCA. I've always stressed this, that you need to create a pool of spinners. For that, you need to have conducive pitches. For that, you need to have a mindset for all the teams to have that kind of spinner in the ranks. Sometimes I feel, pardon me if I'm just going away from the subject or the question that you asked. But I just wanted to stress one thing with changes in domestic cricket. If you ask me one thing, I would like to get the Ranji Trophy back to 5-day cricket. It's 4-day cricket right now, and there is nothing called 4-day cricket. Test cricket is about 5 days. 1-day cricket is about 50 overs. There are only 3 formats: T20, 50 overs, and Test match cricket. What is this about 4-day cricket? There's nothing like 4-day cricket. Get rid of it. Add the 5th day for every Ranji Trophy. You will start getting the results in 3 or 4 or 5 years time. You'll start getting spinners because the composition of the team changes. If there is a 5th day in Ranji Trophy, then I would like to have another spinner in my team, in my 11. At the moment, what is happening is the pitches are a little bit, they have subsided. And then within 4 days, you need results. You start playing with the pitches. You start playing with 4 seamers or 3 seamers. You give grass on the pitch. And then the game is over within 2 days' time. So many games are getting over in 2 days' time.
True, that's a good suggestion. Yeah. And Amol, being a captain, being a batsman, do you think it's the right way to allow the curators go by what the home captain says? These days, of course, there is a neutral curator, but still, in the back of the mind, they know it has to be a batsman-oriented game.
I would like the home team getting an advantage, for sure. But that advantage doesn't mean the game should get over in 2 days. The advantage is when, say for example, in 1990s, when we were winning consistently in Ranji Trophy, at Wankhede, the teams that travelled to Wankhede to play cricket, to play Ranji Trophy games, they knew that they would get some seamer-friendly wickets. They knew that there will be bounce over there because we had some good fast bowlers. But the game did not end in 2 days. The game ended at around 4th day because the spinners also came into play. It wasn't a doctored pitch. It was just that there was enough for the bowlers as well. So I'm not of the opinion that the pitches should be doctored, and I'm not saying that they are. All I'm saying is that when the pitches are done correctly, they should last 4 days. They should last 5 days. That's how a pitch should be judged.
Right. And just a couple of questions more, Amol, before we let you go. One is, what is it that a modern cricketer should remember? I mean, there is so much of pressure. There is fear of failure. There is pressure to compete and succeed. So, if you are a 15-year-old today or a 16-year-old today, which you are, what would you do? How would you approach the game?
I would. The only suggestion that I would give the modern day generation is try and keep it very simple. It's a very complicated game, anyways. If you try to complicate it furthermore, you're going to get confused here. So try and keep it very simple. Do not forget your basics. A cover drive still is a cover drive. It can't be played 10 other ways. It can be played only in one way. A cover drive is a cover drive. So just try and keep it very simple. Stick to your basics and do not forget your roots, where you come from. If you've come from a very humble background, if you've come from a very lavish background, whatever it may be, do not forget your roots, where you came from.
Yes, it's very difficult to be humble, Amol, when you're surrounded by so many fans, and people are like they're cheering for you at the IPL stadium. So, last word: how much is IPL important for today's cricketers? And I mean, it brings in a lot of money. It gives life to cricketers and curators and umpires, everybody connected with the game. So, how important it is, and your own experience of sitting in the dugout and kind of controlling how the team progresses.
I have always maintained this, Vijay, that IPL is a beast. It's a beast. There's immense pressure. You don't have to say that. Even sitting in the dugout, you can feel that pressure. But it's a good pressure. And you get some very good, extraordinary players who are used to the crowds and used to the big occasion. Those things are given by the IPL. If you succeed in IPL, you more or less have that temperament to succeed at international level. That's it. But at the same time, I would like all the selectors or whoever they may be, when you're picking a player, please do not look into just IPL performances. Please also let him have a good first-class season. Now, when you have a mixture of a good IPL season and a good first-class season, you know that you have a versatile cricketer in your hand. And once you know that he's good enough, that is the time. Once he follows it up after the good IPL season, you know that this guy is a perfect pick for Indian cricket. Pick him up by all means. But don't just look at IPL and pick a T20 player, please. That's my only suggestion.
Right. So, last question. What does cricket mean to you? You played, you have commentated also. I've come and listened to your commentary in the Combox, and now you are coaching. So, what has cricket given? What does it mean to you?
It's my life. It is just my life, and I think cricket is in my blood, and it's a blood flow. You can't stop it. You just can't stop the blood flow. So cricket means everything to me, and it has given me everything. I owe everything to the game, and I still feel, and probably my wife will not agree to this, but that's my first love.
And I forgot to ask you one thing, Amol, will adjust it. That what was on your mind when you walked back to the pavilion after your century on debut?
Oh God!
What was in your mind? Do you remember?
Yeah, I do remember. After the 100, you mean, or after the double 100 that I got?
After the 100, because 100 you was double 100 came next day.
Yeah, 100. When I got my 100, I went outside actually. In the lunchtime, Vijay. I went outside in the earlier times. There used to be STD and the PCO booth. I went outside to find an STD booth in the lunchtime. I asked Karsan Gauri that can I go outside and call. So I took a coin with me and just went outside in an STD booth, and I called my dad up. And he said, "What are you doing outside?" I said, I had to call you up and I had to tell you that I've got 100. He said, 100? Do not take it lightly now. I don't want you to be, put your head down and try and because you know how hard it was to get a chance into this Mumbai team. make it a big one, Amol. And he just kept the phone down so that I could go. I took a taxi back and I came back, put my pads on and went back to.
Well done, young man. I've never heard this anecdote from you. Good, it came at the last end of it. So thank you, viewers. You have met a wonderful cricketer come coach whose life is cricket, as he has said, and he continues to be associated with the game. Thank you, Amol. Thank you very much for sparing precious time. You are still, you'll be having your team meetings and all. So
pleasure.
It's good to have you, and thank you again. Thank you very, very much.
That was it from our side. If you found that interesting, please tune in to Pen, Paper and Podcast with Vijay Lokapally on all your podcasting platforms.